Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I'm playing another game of Arkeis. This is a steampunk dungeon crawler board game with miniatures. Pretty cool game. Today I'm playing episode 1 called The Fall. So in just a moment I'm going to set the game up, give you a little overview of the layout, and then I will get started with a top-down view of the game. I hope you enjoy this. All right, before I get playing, I wanted to give you just an overview of today's game. This is session 1 or scenario 1. It's called The Fall. To summarize the story, the crew left from episode 0. They left the chamber, went back to their base, rested, and the next morning they started excavating around that chamber. One of them triggered a trap. They all fell down into a chamber beneath them. It's one large room with 4 zones. The instructions provided me with where to put two tokens in each zone. It also instructed me that I could place one explorer in each zone, and if there was a 5th one, that you could pick whichever one you wanted. So I've got Riot and Frank in this one. I've got Eleanor here. I've got Rebecca here, and actually this is Rebecca, and this is the professor, and this is Eleanor. All right, so I've got the game all set up. The cards are shuffled. These are the episode 1 cards that will correspond to things that it tells me to do. Before I get started, I do want to note that there are now 15 fate tokens for this scenario for a 5-player game. And I also wanted to introduce you to these. These little boxes here came with the game. These are the backpacks. And on the bottom, you can see they have a picture of the character. So this is Riot's. It's empty. He didn't have any, he didn't get any cards or loot last turn. Neither did Frank. So wait, is that Frank? That's Frank. Frank apparently did. Oh, you know what I did? Rebecca had a crowbar and a whip. So I gave Frank the whip and kept her with the crowbar. And then the professor had a statue, which he can sell, and Eleanor had some cards. So I'll get these emptied out and put with their respective decks, and I'll get started. So I'm going to take a real quick break, get the camera set up overhead, and I'll get started with scenario number 1. All right, time to play Arkeis, episode 1 called The Fall. My 5 adventurers have fallen into a pit that has dropped them in this room. There are no doors, but there are lots of things to discover. I have set it up so that I'm going clockwise. I'm going to start with Frank and then move this way. I rearranged my order based on my experiences with the first game. I would like Riot to go last because he has the ability to heal a character at the end of his turn of 1 wound. I also used 2 XP that I got from the episode 0 to upgrade Riot with a 2 XP card called Resourceful. He may use his ability on an explorer in an adjacent zone. Not diagonal, but adjacent. So I thought that might be a nice upgrade for him to be able to keep them healthy. Let's see, what else? Frank has the crowbar, Rebecca has the whip, and Eleanor has a first aid kit, which hopefully I won't need this turn. The doc has nothing, but he does start with 2 gold coins. The coins can be turned in, 1 to turn a die to whatever face I want. And that's without having to draw a fate token. Remember, you can draw a fate token. If you roll dice, you can draw a fate token to change the face of 1 die. But you don't want fate tokens, you really just don't want. So I'm trying to avoid those if at all possible. All right, so Frank is going to, he's in this room, and I'm going to have him investigate this one. So what I do is I come over here and I get the orange card with the Anubis head on it. This one, he is going to spend his first action to explore. So I flip it over. It's a first aid kit. All right, so I got another one. All right, so he can put that in here. And I guess for his second action, I'll have him go ahead and look at this one, which is the Cobra head. And it is an event. A strange protrusion in the brickwork catches your eye. You take a closer look. Roll 2 inspection dice. If you roll at least one gear, log the result and take this card. If you roll only X sides, take this card. In all other cases, put this card back in the pile. Okay, so somebody's got to roll a gear in order to get the good card, I guess, but you don't want to roll 2 X's since I'm rolling 2 dice. All right, so let's do this. I did not get a gear. I did get a fate side, which means I can take a fate token to turn this into whatever I want. I'm gonna chill right now. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna put this back. This one, by the way, is gone. It was a one-time, but that one stays put. And that is the end of Frank's turn. One thing I really like about this game is, as a solo play, it goes very quick, even if you're playing all 5 adventurers. You can choose to play just 1 or 2 or 3, but I'm playing all 5. And I chose to do that because after session 0, I wasn't sure how the game would play with me playing all 5. But after session 0, it goes very quick. So I'm going to stick with it. All right, so up next we have Rebecca Clark. Now she has a special ability. You may give one of your actions to another explorer during your turn. So she can go down 1 action and give a 3rd action to another player. So Rebecca is here. I'm going to have her investigate the scarab. So get that one out. It's right here. And the scarab is a halberd. It's a weapon. Turn 1 exclamation point into a check mark when you roll fight dice. Well, you know what? I am going to take that and equip it. And I can't do that until the 3rd stage, so technically I can't do that just yet. She's still got the whip. So this goes in her backpack, and during the phase 3, reorganize your equipment is when I can do that. All right, so let's see what else. That was her first turn, and this goes away. And her second turn, do I want to investigate that? Might as well. Let's go ahead and investigate it. This is the eye symbol, which is right here. It's an event. In the corner of the room, an odd shimmer of light atop an impressive column catches your attention. If you have a rope, take the purple falcon card. I don't. If not, roll 2 inspection dice. If you roll 2 torches, take the card. All right. I only got 1 and an X, so I didn't get anything. If not, put this back in the pile. So I see what's going to happen here. At some point, a monster is going to get triggered, and I'm going to end up just going crazy trying to get these dice rolls. All right, so her turn is done, and now we go to Eleanor. Now, I like Eleanor because her inspection ability allows her to re-roll any number of dice 1 time. So she is right here. I will have her look at this symbol. I always think of it as a gong. I don't know if that's what that is or not, but there it is. All right, so let's pick that one up. Oh, an event. While searching this area, you discover a mechanism that reveals a secret door behind a wall of sand. Ooh. Okay, while searching, you discover a mechanism that reveals a secret door. Okay, so how this works, I need to get the D box, so I'm going to have to shift some things here. Oh man, I thought I was going to have all this room. I should have known this was going to be a little more involved. All right, so let me move the trauma cards. I need to get this green symbol and put it in the room, and that is a gong. So let me find it. The gong symbol. Come on, where are you? All right, so this symbol is going to go in that room along with a door with that red weird symbol. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. Okay, so hang on 1 second and let me get a door and D, which goes here. All right, so here is door D. This goes in here, and then this will go in here along with this symbol to indicate there is a hidden door. All right, so she explored, was it this one? It was the gong. All right, so this goes away, and that's kind of cool. I like this game so far. I'll put that one away. That one's used. For her second action, let's go ahead and have her investigate this, which is this strange symbol, this one right here. I really want to know what that is. I just can't tell. Is it a scorpion? No, I don't know. All right, an event. You pick up a fragile papyrus scroll. Extensive study will be needed to unravel all its mysteries, but maybe you can at least find a clue to how to get it out of here. Roll 3 inspection dice. If you roll at least 1 book, log the result and take the gong card. If not, take the, all right, so I need to roll a book. Come on. I did not, but I get to re-roll. Reroll at least, okay, so I'm going to reroll all of them. I need a book. Come on. I got a book. All right, if you roll at least 1 book, log the result and take the card. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again make a note that I got what else did I get? I rolled a torch. All right, so a book, torch, gear, magnifier. So I got one of these and one of these. And you keep track of these for bonuses at the end of the game. All right, so I get to keep the, what did it say? Where'd it go? It said, what did I do with that card? I put it over here, didn't I? Take the gong card. Okay, purple gong card. That one. Make sure the color's right. Or is it? No, it seems to be this color. Is that the right color? Man, the colors are a little hard to discern. I think that's purple. I'm going to go with purple. All right, purple gong right here. All right, otherwise take the, well, there is a snakehead card for both colors, so I'm hoping I'm doing this right. All right, mysterious scroll. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. So it is purple. There are new symbols mixed in with hieroglyphics you've seen before. Their meaning is confusing at first, but you find several references to what seems to be a fallen pharaoh or god. You'll need more time to decipher. She gets to keep this. It's worth $1, so I will put that in her backpack, and she is done. Now we go to Dr. Pierce. His special ability, remember the 2 gold coins, he can re-roll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inspect this hand, which is this one. Another one. All right. Oh, God, I'm going to have to be shifting things around. You pull a visible lever that reveals a hidden passageway behind an adornment. So room E is going to go here. So I'm going to have to shift some more stuff. All right. That's okay. Let's see. I can move her here. I can put this under here. Put that there. And it says I'm going to take the red dog head symbol, which, let's see. There's a lot of tokens in this game, so forgive me. There's the dog head, and let me get room E and a door. All right, so here's room E and a door. This is so cool. All right. And it says to put 2 green tokens, the snakehead and the scarab. All right, so the snakehead and the scarab. Scarab, where's the snakehead? I don't see it. All right, so we got the scarab, and the only one I cannot find right now is the snakehead, but it's in here somewhere. There it is. All right, so the game is expanding. All right, so that's good. Is there anything else I need to do? No. All right, it is. That was his first one. Now I will have him investigate the Ankh, which is this. Rope. 5 lengths of wooden hemp. This could come in handy. All right, so the doctor now has the rope. I'll go ahead and equip it. Since he doesn't have anything, he can put it immediately to use. All right, he is done. And now we get back to Riot. No one's injured yet, so Riot can use both his actions. I will have him investigate this, because if I remember right, it was the one that involved the rope. No, this was the one where you have to roll gear. Okay, so he'll do this one. Roll 2 inspection dice. If you roll at least 1 gear, you get to grab a card. All right, so let's see. I did not. If you rolled only X's, I did not. I rolled one X, but didn't roll both. Let me roll again. This will be his second turn. I did not. I got a... But the good thing is I did get... you know what? I forgot to write down on the first one what he rolled. For his first one, I think he rolled... I'll have to review the tape. But this time around, he gets a magnifier and a torch. And I can't remember what... He rolled an X on the first one, and I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was a torch, but I could be wrong. All right, so he did not... He was not able to do this, so this goes back in the pile. That was his second action, and he is done. Okay, so now what we do is we go to phase 1, which is the player or the explorer, what they call the pre-actions or whatever. None of them have anything that has to be done ahead of time. Then you go to the adversaries. I don't have any adversaries, so we skip that. So now we're back to Frank. Frank will try this again. He gets to roll 2 dice, trying for a gear. He got it. A gear and a book. All right. A gear and a book. All right. So it says if you roll at least 1 gear, take the purple, it looks like Anubis head. Purple Anubis head. All right. Here it is. Another... The protrusion is actually hiding a mechanism. You activate it. Cogs begin to turn to reveal a secret door. All right, so I'm going to shift this down a little bit. Man, running out of room here. All right, and this is going to be room G, which I'll have to go get that. And another door. I'm just going to use F. I don't think these really matter. I'm going to put that here along with a door and what symbol? The red gong, which is right here. All right, so put that there. And inside it is the green Anubis. All right, so we'll put that in there. And that was Frank's first turn. I guess I could put these up here a little bit, make some more room. Don't know how many more rooms I'm going to need to find here. Probably one over here, I'll bet, if the pattern follows. Let's see. Frank's next turn. So this is gone. He did that. And what do I want to do now? I guess I'll move him here with the professor. So he is done. His turn is over. And we go to Rebecca. Rebecca is one of your actions. Okay, so she's not going to give her action. So she's going to investigate this again, the red eye symbol. If you have a rope, who had the rope? The rope is Professor. I need to get the professor into this room. Okay, so if you have a rope, take a card. If not, roll 2 inspection dice. All right, well, I'll roll the 2. I need 2 torches to get it. I did not get it. So I got a magnifier and an X. So she will not, I'm not going to have her waste a turn on that. So I'll put this back, and instead, I'm going to have her open up this door right here. Now, this one is the red Anubis symbol. So what I do is I come over here to the red deck, and I get the Anubis out, and I read it. Door, living quarters. All that's left here are stone bed frames and some pottery, most of which is broken. It would seem that several people lived here, but you still can't understand what this building was for. It reminds you of a temple with its large common room, however. All right, so the door is gone, and so now she can, on her next turn, she can move in here. So that was her second action, was to remove the door. All right, let's do Eleanor. Eleanor still needs to do this one, which is the orange. Didn't she already do that one? I think I did this one. Yeah, so she's done. This room was emptied out. Okay, Eleanor does not have the rope. So going in and doing this one is not going to be any good. So I'm going to have her go 1, 2, And she is done. Yeah, she's done. I'll have her be done, even though she's got the best investigate effect. Okay, now we are on to the professor, who has the rope. The professor will move into this room for one action, and then he will do this. He has the rope, and it says, if you have the rope, take the purple falcon card. All right, so the purple falcon card. Event. You reached the top of the column out of breath. The shimmer of light was a reflection from a piece of metal stuck in the stone. A few hieroglyphics depict the merging of earth and sky. Roll 3 inspection dice and record the result. You climb back down exhausted. Take a fate token. Great. Okay. So roll 3. These don't count. I rolled 1 book, and I'm not going to take a fate token to re-roll those. All right. So, and then he has to take one of the 15 fate tokens. So I could use one of his coins, but the coins are valuable. I can use them to buy things, so I'm not wanting to do that. All right. So he is done. That was his second turn. And let's see. Roll. Okay, so that's done. If you roll at least one, take that. Okay. Now we are to Riot. Riot will move here for one action, and I'll have him inspect the Ankh, the orange Ankh, which is... Did I already do that one? I keep forgetting to take these out. I must have already done the orange Ankh. No, I didn't. Where is the orange Ankh card? Was that the rope? It was the rope. All right, so the rope is gone. He'll do the hand, which I think I already did the hand too. Yep, I did. All right, so that room is empty. All right, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to remove the tokens. And this one is gone now because the professor took the rope. All right, so Riot, he moved. He's got one more action. Let's go ahead and have him open this door. This is the red funny symbol, which I don't know what it is. This one. It's a door. There is a complex mechanism in the middle of the room. It's giving off a purplish steam that fascinates you with its strangeness. A familiar fear grabs you when a cloud of mechanical scarabs suddenly emerges from a trapdoor. Roll 2 inspection dice and record the results. You know what? Some of these just say roll, and it doesn't say log. Oh, it does say log results. I'm just making sure I'm doing it. Roll 3, log results. Yeah. All right, so I have been doing it correctly. All right, so roll 2 and roll 2 and log the results. Okay, I got a book and a magnifier. All right. Just so you know, I found out when you do the rewards, you do not get these until the end of the game, but you get these immediately. So let me just double check. I've rolled 4 books. I'm not sure what that is. Event. Or I could get an XP. I don't know what that is. I've rolled 3 magnifiers. 1, 2, 3. I could get 3 victory points or $2. The gear, I've only rolled 1. And the torch, I've rolled 2, so I can get some money for it. Okay, so what I really need is gears. I need 1 more gear to get this upgrade to CO3, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds good. Torches, I've got 1, 2. Books, I've got 1. Magnifier 2. Yeah, and 1 more gear, and I'll get this reward as well. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Okay, so I recorded the results, and then it says add 2 scarabs. 2 scarabs to room D. D is this one. Okay, and add 2 scarabs to room D and each of the zones in room A. Ooh, add 2 scarab. 2, 2, 2, and 2. Okay. So, if you have at least 2 fate tokens in your backpack, I don't. I only have 1 fate token. Discard 1 or 2 and add the same number of scarabs to one of the zones in room A. discard one or two. Oh, so you could have, I could have discarded a fate token to put more scarabs in the room. That's a good mechanic to know. All right, so this is done. And now I have scarabs to deal with. All right, so Riot moved and he inspected, so he is done. So this door goes away. And now we are to the start of the turn. Again, they have nothing for the pre-phase to do. The adversaries. So now what you do is you take a scarab card, and a scarab card goes with each player that is in a room with one. So they all have the scarabs now. And so what you do on the scarab rule, it says start of turn. Take one injury for oh no, this is a scarab. Oh, it is a scarab. Mechanical. Oh, that's the elite one. Sorry, I'm not doing the elite. It's just the standard one. Okay. Add two. So it says add 2 scarabs to another zone containing at least one other explorer. Well, I only have 2 scarabs left, and the rules say that if you run out, you use it. So add 2 to another zone containing at least one other explorer. If there are no explorers in the other zones, add 2 scarabs to your zone. And the other, this is the most confusing rule. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a French game, and I think the French rules were translated poorly. There are a lot of questions that I have about this game. So what I try to do is just make the best of it. So you start with the first player, Frank. Frank is in a room with one. So Frank would add 2 scarabs to another zone containing at least one other explorer. So he would put 2 in here. And then it says if there are no explorers in the other zones, add 2 scarabs to your zone. There are no explorers in other zones. In the other zones, add 2 scarabs. But it's just worded very poorly. So I'm just going to play it as best I can. All right. That is the scarab's turn. So now it is my turn, and I've got to fight. So while the scarabs are in your room, if you do a search action, you take an injury for each scarab in your space. So you won't be doing that. And if you move, you take an injury for each scarab. So you really have to fight them. Now Frank's thing is he's a fighter, so he gets 3 fight dice. So Frank is going to, and Frank has the crowbar, which says roll 1 extra die when you roll fight. So I get to roll, his special ability is when he rolls fight, he rolls 1 extra. So now he's rolling 4 with the crowbar. So he's definitely my fighter. I would have moved him in here to fight these 4, but the problem is when you move, you take injuries. So let's just fight what we have. And you do these in order. So it goes exclamations over X. So because there's only 2 in there, I will take an injury and an injury, but I do kill these. And the red X, nothing happens on it. All right, so I've got 2 here. And he takes 2 injuries. And Frank is right here, 1 and 2. All right. Next is, that was his first action. He could fight again. He could move. He will move into here. And he is done. All right. So Rebecca is next. She has the whip. You may reroll 1 die 1 time when you reroll fight. So she's going to attack. And she gets 1 check and a fate. I can turn this to anything by taking a fate token. I'm not going to do it. So I will kill 1. And for her second action, I'll have her do it again. And I got 2 checks, so she kills 2 more. And she is done. I forgot to switch out her halberd. I'll do that next turn, because then it says turn an exclamation into a check. She didn't have to do that this turn, but it's still a pretty cool ability. All right, let's see. Although the reroll is nice. I might give that halberd to another player. Yeah, I may do that. All right, so for her second action, she fought. She is done. Eleanor is in that room. So she will move and she will fight. So she gets to roll 2 dice. And she got 1 check, so she gets to kill 1. And the other doesn't do anything. So she is done. It is now Professor's turn. All right, Professor, she moved, yeah. Professor has rope. That's it. All right, so but he does have the 2 rerolls. Professor is in the room with a scarab, so he will fight it, and he destroys it. That's good. All right, next action, he will move into here. That is all he can do, and now Riot. Who has an injury? Frank. So he will move, if he moves into here, he's not adjacent to Frank to take away one of these. So instead, I will move here, and then I will move here. That's the end of his turn, and at the end of his turn, he can remove 1 injury. So he'll remove 1 from Frank. And he is done. All right, that is it. It is now time for the bad guys. Now, at the start of the turn, add 2 scarabs to another zone. So I go to Frank. Frank is here. If there are no scarabs in the other zone, add 2 scarabs to another zone containing at least 1 other explorer. I'll put the 2 in here. And then it says, if there are no explorers in the other zones, add 2 scarabs to your zone. Well, there are zones that don't have explorers. So add 2 scarabs. This is a weird rule. Oh, now I get it. Each scarab has a different start of turn effect. You're supposed to pick these randomly. That's it. Okay, so since Frank went first, I'll do this one. And then she gets, is there one in there? There's not one in hers. So hold on. And Eleanor will get this one. He'll get that one. He'll get this one. Okay, now I understand. It's purple. It's just each player has their own special things. All right. So this scarab for Frank, I had this one. Sorry. So this one will go to Rebecca. So his he did. Place, add 1 scarab. If there are no scarabs in those zones, add 1 scarab to your zone. All right. So there is a scarab here now. Then we go to Rebecca. Her says take 1 injury for each scarab. So she takes an injury. All right, now I'm starting to get it. Okay, Eleanor says add 1 scarab to each zone in your room. She's in this room. No, she's in that room. So she gets a scarab. And then Doc says take 1 injury. Take 1 injury, so he gets an injury. And then it says plus 1 injury for each scarab in adjacent zones. This is adjacent, so he'll take another injury. Wow. Okay, this game is all of a sudden, now I'm realizing it's getting deadly. And then finally, Riot's is add 2 scarabs to another zone if there are no... Okay, so his is the same as this one. Add 2 scarabs to another zone containing at least 1 explorer. I'll put them in here. If there are no explorers in other zones, add 2. So I only have 1, so he'll get 1 extra one in here. Man, these things are flooding me. All right, so now it is Frank's turn. Frank has 3 scarabs in here. He will roll 4 dice because he's going to fight. And he gets, that's not good. He kills 1. And the exclamations means he takes an injury for each one. He's at 3 now. And this would allow him to turn it, but I'm not going to do it. So for his second action, he's going to fight again. 3 exclamations. So he will take 1, 2, 3. He'll take, oh man. So here's how this works. He takes 3 injuries. I hate to do that. All right, so he takes 3 injuries. Now, he can only take 2. He goes 1, and then the next one, the 5th one, instead gets him a trauma. And the trauma cards are right. I shuffled them, so he gets shock, max 1. You can only use 1 fight action per turn. All right, so he's shocked. All right, now the way I think the damage tokens stay. Let me double check that. Injuries, trauma. Injuries received. Okay. When an explorer receives an explorer can have up to 4 injuries. When they are supposed to take their 5th, they don't take it. They remove all injuries from their profile, take a trauma, and then put any remaining injuries back on. So he took 1, so these go away, and he takes 1 that's left over after he gets the trauma card. All right. Wow. So take 1 fate token and discard 1 trauma from an explorer in your zone. Well, okay, Eleanor's going to have to do that because I think you have to use it on another. It says from an explorer. You're an explorer. I assume you can do it to yourself, but we will figure that out. All right, so he rolled twice. He is done. You know what? I will take the fate token. I'll take the fate token, and that will allow me to remove this. All right, and so this gets discarded. All right. All right, so that's done. But he did kill all of them. Next is Rebecca. Rebecca has the whip. I'm going to move her. It's interesting that these just stay put. I'm going to move her here for 1 action, and then I'm going to have her use the whip. She rolls 2 fight dice, and she can re-roll 1 die 1 time when you roll fight. All right. She got 2 checks, so I will take that. So she gets rid of 2, and that is the end of her turn. She moved and she fought, so she's done. Eleanor is here. Eleanor will fight. She's got 2 in there. She gets a check and an X. So the check takes 1 away, but the X on her card says take 1 injury for each scarab in your zone. So she takes an injury. Wow. Okay. So she fought and killed 1. Let's do it again. She'll fight again. And she got an exclamation, which is eliminate 1 scarab and take an injury. So she took another injury. Man, they are piling up here. All right. Doc, Dr. Robert Price. Let's get him going. He's got 2 injuries. He is here. There's 1 scarab. He can't move because if he moves, he will take an injury. So he might as well fight. And he got a check, which allows him to kill it. But because he killed it, and this would apply if there were more scarabs left over, but since this was only 1, you only used the first die, so that was good. Because the rule says take 1 injury for each scarab in your zone. Well, I've killed it, and now there's none left, so there you go. All right, so that was good. Doc has 1 action left. I will have him inspect this scarab symbol, which is this one. Yeah. An event. This edifice is full of secret passageways. A piece of ebony furniture in the shape of a scarab is hiding the entrance to a new room. I need to find room B. Wow. Okay. Man, I am really running out of room here. Okay. So, Doc, you got this one. So let me go get room B and a door with a red scarab. Room B's got to go here. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to shift this as far this way as I can. And then this goes here. And what I'll do is push her up. Put these under here. And these aren't really going to help me this turn, so they can be covered. And that will go here. And that's hers. And I get a door with a red scarab. All right, so a door with a red scarab. Red scarab, where are you? Okay, and a door. All right, so this door is here with this. And there is a blue eye and a blue gong. Blue eye and a blue gong. So let's see if I can find those. There's the gong. And do I have the eye? Yes. All right. So the blue eye is here and the blue gong is here. All right. So he did the scarab. This one goes away. And this one goes away. Okay. And Doc is done. He has gone his max. So Let me think. All right, he fought and he did that. Okay, so now we're up to Riot. Riot's here. It says at the end of your turn you may remove an injury. So Frank has 1, Doc has 2, so not too bad. I will have Riot. He can do it adjacent. So this goes, did I do that? Oh, I haven't investigated this room yet. All right, so Riot will look at this door, which is here. It's a door. The door seems strangely out of time with the rest of the decor. Made of metal, it has a lock, which would have been something rare and trailblazing when the door was built. To open it, you'll need some sort of key. If any explorer in your zone has the anachronistic key, then discard it and take the red Ankh card. If not, put this back. So I got to find a key, which is probably going to be that one or that one. All right, so he investigated. Let's have him go and look at that. So he's gonna move here. That's the end of his turn, and then he will heal Doc of 1 injury because it's adjacent. And that is the end of that. There are no start of turn effects. These are in a different room, so I don't have to worry about them. It is now time for Frank. Frank will move here, and I'll have him fight. 4 dice. He got a check, and a thing. So he does kill all of them, and that is the end of his turn. He does have a fate, and that's it. All right, so he's good to go. Next we have Rebecca, who is down here. Rebecca will look at the green symbol here and see what this is. It adds a door over here. A decrepit wall hanging in front of a snake makes you pause. Behind it you find a lever sculpted out of scales topped with a horned viper head. When you pull the lever, it reveals a hidden passageway. So there's going to be a door here, a room here. So let me go get that. 1 second. All right, and it goes here. Okay, so push you up, put you there, move these up. Oh man, I'm hoping this is it. I think I'm running out of space, and it gets the red snake head. So the red snake head is this one. All right, so she looked in this for her first action, so this goes away. And now she can't go through here because you need that anachronistic key. Oh, what's in here? What was in there? Oh, the green eye. I knew I was missing something. The green eye is this one. All right. So now it is, she investigated, she can move. She could move. Let's have her move into here. And that is her turn. Now we go to Eleanor. Eleanor is here. She will look at this one, which is the green gong. You can't explain it, but you're sure that the machine producing this surprising steam is somehow related to the mechanical crabs. Roll 3 inspection dice. You may take 1 injury to re-roll any of the dice. You may do this as many times as you like, taking 1 injury each time. If you roll 3 magnifiers, take the purple eye card. If you get up, put it back. Well, the good thing about her is, remember, she gets 1 re-roll for free. So let's roll some, we need to roll some magnifiers. I got no magnifiers. So what I will do is I'm going to re-roll them all. I can turn these into magnifiers by taking 2 fate coins, which is what I'm going to do. 1, 2. Because I have a feeling, because this is hard, this is going to be something good. So I'll take these to turn these into magnifiers. And then it says you may take an injury to re-roll. So I'm going to re-roll this one. Hopefully she can get a, or I could just take another token and re-roll it. All right, so let's see. Here we go. I hate this. All right, that's an injury. All right, so she takes an injury. She's got 3 now. Roll it again. She takes another injury. I think you can take a fate token at any time to change 1 die, whether it's an exploration or a fight. Let me double check that. You may find, okay, the fate tokens. Taking fate tokens. During the session, if explorers must take, they must take them from stock. The stock taking a fate from stock every card. Okay. When setting it, take a fate. She's setting up the fate and inspection. When an explorer was one of these. All right. The fight and inspection dice have the fate side. When an explorer was one of these, they may decide to switch it to another side by taking a fate token. If the explorer does not want to take a fate token, they ignore it. So I forgot that you can only take the fate token if you roll the fate symbol on the die. That's right. So you just can't just say, oh, I'll take a fate token and re-roll that. So she can take, I'm going to roll it one more time, and hopefully she doesn't get a trauma. Give me a magnifying glass. I did not get it. So she will take the injury, which now gives her a trauma. Head injury. Take 1 injury every time you go through a door. All right. I'm gonna risk this. I'm gonna burn the discard 1 trauma from an explorer in your zone, then discard this card. Okay, so this goes away. This goes away, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna roll again. I need that magnifier. There, no, a torch. So she gets 1. There it is. All right. Woo! Okay, so what did she get? She gets the... That's done. She gets... That's done. Oh, here it is in the center. If you roll 3, take the purple eye. Okay. On the bottom. This is done. Moving closer, you notice a control panel covered in a thick layer of dust. You decide to press the button near the scarab symbol. The machine stops working. It goes cold, the steam stops spurting out, and most of the scarabs freeze. Remove 1 scarab from each zone in play. Well, there you go. Roll 3 inspection dice and log the results. Excellent. All right, so 3 inspections. I just got a torch. Okay, well, better than nothing. I got 1 torch. Okay, so she finished that room, but she didn't find that, and I thought that it was going to be that anachronistic key, but unfortunately it was not. So it's hopefully going to be one of these. All right, so she, I think, was that her first turn? She inspected. Yeah, so she's still got 1 more turn, so I will have her move. She doesn't have the head injury, so she can move out of a door. All right, her turn is done. Doc is right here. He can't do anything, and he's not going to be much good to me injured. So I'm going to go 1, 2. His turn is done. Riot is going to go 1, 2. He's not going to be able to fight this, but he will heal the Doc of 1 injury. And that is the end of the round. There are no cards that I have to deal with for start of the phase. The enemies, there is 1 here, and it's with Riot. So Riot's is add 2 scarabs to another zone containing at least 1 explorer. I'll put these in here with Frank. If there are no explorers in the other zones, add 2 scarabs to your zone. So there are some blank. If there are no explorers in the other zones, I think this rule is talking about a room. I really do think it's talking about a room. So there are explorers in all of them. If there are no explorers in the other zones, add 2 scarabs. I am going to play it that way because now that there's so many rooms, there's not enough scarabs to play. So this rule would not make sense in that, because not only would there be more rooms, but there's not enough scarabs to play. So it would make sense that it would be on a per room basis. So this is a room. This is a room. So add 2 scarabs to your zone. So if there are no explorers in the other zone, there are explorers in the other zone, so I'm not going to have to do that. All right, so he is done, or that's done, and now it is Frank's turn. Frank has 2 scarabs. All right, so he needs to fight them. He rolls 4 dice. He gets a check, so he kills 1, and he gets an exclamation, which means he takes an injury, but he does kill the last one. All right, and then the other 2 dice, you just ignore them. That was his first action. Second action, I'm going to have him look at this red cobra head door. Through the gloom, you can see that the room is empty and in very bad shape. You probably won't find anything useful here. It's a relief that nothing bad was hiding here. Yeah, whatever. All right, so that is done. And let's see. That goes away. And so that door is open. All right, so Frank is done. Now we go to Rebecca. Rebecca is right here. I will have her go ahead and move in, just in case it turns out to be scarabs. She moved twice, so she is done. It is now Rebecca's turn, or no, Eleanor. Eleanor will move 1, 2. I don't want her to have to deal with the scarab. And she's done. The doc will go in the room for 1 action, and he will look at the green eye. Event. For an instant, you think you feel a gentle breeze on your cheek. It's so faint you can't be sure it's real. Is your mind playing tricks on you, or did it come from that odd crack in the wall? Roll 2 inspection dice and record the result. 2. Where's all the dice? Oh, there they are. Roll 2. I got a fate and a book. If you roll at least 1 magnifier, take the scarab card. If not, take the Ankh card. Well, I did roll a fate die, so I'm not going to take a fate token. I'm going to burn a gold coin, one of his abilities, to turn this to that. And I get to record that. I got a magnifier and a book. And I get to take the purple scarab. Right there. Event. While trying to enlarge the crack, you manage to dislodge a piece of stone from the wall. The opening is too small for you to get through, but the fresh air caressing your face gives you hope. You breathe in the oxygen and then head out in search of an exit, more motivated than ever. Add 4 fate tokens to the stock. All right. So that means, more chances to change dice, but it also, since it's used sort of as a counter, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a good thing. And then, if not, take the purple Ankh, which means the purple Ankh is probably going to be left over, but I'm not going to look at it. All right, so that's done, and this goes away. So that means that key has to be in that room, unless that leads to another room. I think I have one more. I have one more long room over there sitting, so it's possible this could turn into a long room. And I haven't investigated these yet. So, all right, so that was the professor. He moved, he investigated. Now we've got Riot. Riot will fight. He rolls 2 fight dice. He does destroy it, but he also takes a wound. And Riot cannot heal himself. It says from another explorer. Now, there is an upgrade I can buy him later that will allow him to heal himself. He is here, so I'm going to have him heal Frank of 1 injury. And he fought... Oh, no. He does that at the end of his turn. Sorry, let me put that back. So he's going to look at this door, which is the red gong, which is this one. You feel like you're opening something that has been sealed since the dawn of time. A sort of evil pressurized airlock. The room seems gloomy. It smells of oblivion. A terrifying clicking freezes your blood, the blood in your veins. In the middle of the room, an abomination, a gigantic scorpion in gold and metal armor, is chopping up the remains of a human corpse with its huge pincers. The many pieces scattered around suggest there were multiple victims. Okay. So I place a giant scorpion. Let me get that enemy. All right, the giant scorpion goes here. Now he's not moved in yet. And that's it. All right. So the door is, and I removed the door. That's gone. Okay. And so now he will heal him of the 1 injury. All right, and now that is the end of the round. That's the end of the round, right? Yes. So now there are no more enemies to attack, and I don't have anything to start with. So now we go back to Frank. Frank is here. Frank will move 1. And then if he moves into here, which he's going to do, he has to take the giant scarab, or the giant scorpion. So the way this works is you take the cards. There are 5 of them. Actually, there's 6. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 hybrid. Oh, no, this is the elite. We don't do the elites. 5 of these, 1 per adventurer, but you only pick one when you go in the room of an enemy. So I'm going to shuffle these up and pick one for Frank, and then of course if another hero comes in, I'm going to pick this one. So here's how it works. The scorpion looks like it has 4 health. 4 health, and I'll put that there, and then he is done. All right, so I don't think Rebecca is going to be much help here. So I'm going to have her go 1. She might. 2. Eleanor won't. I'll have her go 1, 2. The Doc won't. I'm going to have him go 1, 2. And then Riot will go in here. Remove 1 injury from another explorer in your zone, and then he also can do it adjacently. Okay, so he moves, and I'm going to have him fight. He rolls 2 dice, and now he gets to draw a scorpion. So he draws this one. Start of the turn effects. We didn't do that yet, or we do that the next round. So he will take 2 injuries if he doesn't kill it. All right, so he will fight it. He does exclamation, which is every explorer in your zone takes an injury. Oh, man. And I don't do any injuries to the scorpion. So Frank takes 1, and he takes 1. All right. For his second action, he moved and he fought, so he's done. That is the end of the round. Now we do the start of the enemy turn. So the scorpion, every explorer in your zone takes an injury. Man. 1, 2, and then his take 2 injuries. So he gets a 1, 2. So he gets a trauma. So he gets sprain. Discard your support item. Take 1 injury every time you equip a support item. Okay, so that's there. These carry over, by the way, so that's not good. All right, it is now Frank's turn. All right, Frank will fight. 4 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Frank's is give the injury 1 injury. So he has 2, excuse me. And then these say every explorer takes an injury. So Frank takes an injury, and so does Riot. All right. Frank fought. He'll fight again. He can fight twice, so he'll do it again. Actually, you know what? No, I don't want to fight it. Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I did. I got the 2 final ones which kill it. That's awesome. Okay. And that is the end of Mr. Scorpion. So these can go away.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.
All right, so all that's left So Frank went twice, so he can't go again. So she will move in here and inspect that. Anachronistic key. Something shiny catches your attention. In one of the corpse's pockets, you find a key with an oddly modern shape. Judging by its composition and condition, it is clearly ancient. When you get this card, roll to inspection and log the results. Gear and a gear. Excellent. All right, so I have the key. I got the key, and it's worth $1, so she's putting that here. So she moved and she inspected, so she's done. His turn, he will move here, or actually her turn, she can't do anything. So him, Riot will move and then heal 1 from Frank. That's the end of the round. Frank's turn. Frank will go 1, 2. Rebecca will go 1, 2. Eleanor stays put. Doc stays put. Riot goes 1, 2, and he'll heal another one here. Remember, he can't heal himself, which stinks. All right. So that's the end of the turn. We go back to Robert. Remember, there's no enemies, so they're just moving. So it goes move 1, 2, move 1, 2, and then her stays, he stays, and then Riot will go 1, and then heal him of 1, and that is it. So now I'm at the door. All right. I can give the key to Frank during that third phase, which I usually skip, but this time I'm going to do it. So it's just in his, he has the key. So on his turn, he will look at the red scarab, which says, if any explorer in your zone has the key, they discard it and take the red ankh. If not, okay, yeah. All right. Special room. Oh, no. The metal door opens, a warm gust of air caresses your face. Another scorpion. Add 1 fate to the stock. All right, so there's a scorpion here, and I add a fate token. Not really needing these fate tokens, but again, remember, you don't ever want to run out of them, so don't take them if you don't need them. All right, so there's 1, and then the scorpion is here. All right. So Frank, I shouldn't have discarded those. So Frank should have kept this one, and he kept this one. All right, and then that means there's more left to randomly pick for the others. Okay, is that right? Yes. Scarabs can go away. All right. Okay. So Frank inspected the door, so it's gone, and I'll have him move in here. All right. She's got the whip, which lets her reroll 1 dice. He's got the crowbar, which gives him the extra. But man, this is good. So what I'm going to do is Rebecca will move 1, 2. She won't attack. She's out of actions. Then Eleanor will move 1 and inspect this, the blue. You find some machines amid the dust and mold. A system of pipes is leaking thick, clingy steam. If you try to disconnect the machine to study it back at camp, take the brown card. I'll do that. I have no idea. Probably going to regret this. Where'd the brown cards go? Take the brown snakehead. Okay, take this one. All right, there's an event. Of course there is. A piece of the machine comes away in your hands, as if you needed more proof that visitors are not welcome here. A spurt of steam burns your face. Take 2 injuries. Ooh. 1, 2. Roll 4 inspection dice and log the results. I think I've maxed out my stuff. Okay, I get a torch and a magnifier. torch, magnifier. Oh, and then it says if there are any scarabs in play, there are not, put them all in your zone. Excellent. So none of them go running at her. So she's done. This is gone. Then Doc will move 1, 2, and then he will move 1, 2, and I'm going to have him heal Frank of 1, and that is it. So now I have to draw cards for the scorpion. 1, 2. I know I got more of these. So there were 5 of them. What'd you do with them? Oh, sorry, I'm looking for... Okay. I'm going a little crazy here. What'd you do with the scorpions? So he's got 1. He's got 1. I've got 2 left. That means there's a 3rd one somewhere. Scarab, scarab, mummy, 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 mummy. What'd you do with it? Well, I wonder if I put it under something. That is weird. Scarab. I must have dropped 1. Well, I'm not going to waste time looking for it, so what I'll do is I will give this to Eleanor, and I'll give this to to Rebecca, and then I'll just I'm going to keep the professor out of this. So actually, Rebecca I'm keeping out, so I'll give hers to the doc. So let's do this. Frank's scorpion, before every explorer in adjacent zones takes 1 injury. All right, so the doc. No, Eleanor, oh man, she takes an injury, and so does Frank. All right, so that was Frank's turn. Oh no, in adjacent, sorry, Eleanor doesn't. So Doc takes 1, Eleanor takes 1, or Rebecca, and so does oh, he takes another one. Okay, in adjacent zones. All right, then Rebecca says move the scorpion to an adjacent zone containing, so it moves here. If that is not possible, okay, so it is possible. All right, so it moves. I was wondering how these things would move. Then we have Eleanor, who is over here. She doesn't have 1. So we'll just do this. Move this. We'll just do Riot's. Take 2 injuries. So Riot takes 2. Actually, it's not in his zone, so he's not engaged. So what we'll do is, I guess we'll just ignore that for now. All right. What did I do with that one? That's weird. All right. So now it is Frank's turn. Frank is actually in the room with it, so he can fight it. It has 4 health. He rolls 4 dice. I've got, come on, 1 scorpion. Every explorer takes an injury. Oh, so Eleanor does take an injury. So does he. But he does do 1 damage. He does a damage to it. Okay, just getting some more damage out here. So 2 on this guy. I'm going to have him fight again. Actually, just 1. Excuse me, 1 on there. I will change these to 2 successes to put 2 more damage on him. And then these trigger, which gives him, every explorer takes an injury. So again, he takes 1, so does she, which means she now takes a trauma. Infection, take 1 injury after each of your support actions. So when she does a support action, she gets a damage point. Okay, he's done. Now is Rebecca. Rebecca will move in here and she will attack. And I will change that so she takes a fate token and it is dead. Okay, Man, so I've got a trauma. Ugh, all right. So let's do this. Defeated it. That was her turn. Man, everybody's got a lot of fate tokens. Woo. Okay. Whose turn is it? It is now Eleanor's turn. Eleanor will move over here, and she will inspect this. Event. You feel cool air and therefore precious, invigorating oxygen coming from the opposite side of the room. Unfortunately, a giant scorpion stands between you and the exit. If the scorpion has been eliminated, take this card. It was. Take the purple hand. If not, move it to your zone and perform a free fight action. If you eliminate it, now take this. All right. Event. On the heels of your battle against a hellish creature, you look for a way out of this nightmare. Behind the scorpion's imposing mass, the corridor continues up a gentle slope. After walking for several minutes, you come to a trap door that lets you out in the middle of the burning desert. You and your team return to the camp exhausted, proud to have survived this incredible adventure, and happy to see the Phileas's flamboyant curves. The Phileas is our blimp that brought us here. You record the day's discoveries in your logbook, realizing once again the price you almost paid for them. Read the positive epilogue. All right, let me do that. That is in this book, the Camp Archive. So episode 1, the positive epilogue. Unearthing this edifice, its secret rooms, and the creatures living within it has exceeded your wildest hopes. Those who are currently mocking you and your expedition will have to bite their tongues when they hear of your discoveries. Not only are you going to earn your stripes as an Egyptologist and explorer, you will soon become one of the few archaeologists to join the ranks of great adventurers. When the rush of adrenaline has passed, you think about the potential of the entire site and those networks of pipes leaking purple gas. Your expedition has a new goal. Figure out where the steam comes from and what it does. Take the bonuses from the check marks in your logbook and gain 1 XP. All right, so let me show you how this works. So I get 1 XP. There is a box here. This is the camp chest. It holds everything that I've got, like money. So right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually 6 gold because I didn't use one of Robert's. These go in here, and I can use them collectively to like upgrade my adventurers, buy equipment, things like that. Now, what I do is I come over here to the journal, the Adventurer's Journal, and I also have been tracking how many, excuse me, all the investigations I did. So I'm going to look here, and I'm just going to follow and see. So torches, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get $3. So I will take $3. And I think that's just 3 gold coins is what it is. Yeah, it's 3 gold coins. So I get that added to the chest. Now, books, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can use 4 of them here to get 1 XP, or I can use 1, 2, 3, 4 to get an event, which is probably what I want to do. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 would have let me get all of these, but I'm going to take the top tier and go 1, 2, 3, leaving me 2. So I'll miss this XP. So for the event, what I do is I come over here to this book, and there's an event. You'll be instructed to stick one of the events below in your logbook at the end of the episode based on your actions during the episode. Refer to the outcome page for episode 1 to know which one. Okay, so refer to the outcome page for episode 1. Outcome. Oh, let's see. If you haven't completed any event rows, put event EV1 here. If you completed at least one event row, which I did, put event EV2 here. So EV2, which is this one, says, the gas escaping from the copper pipes and ducts clearly has strange effects on any living creature that inhale it. You decide to be especially cautious going forward and warn all members of your group. Each explorer may discard 2 fate tokens from their backpack. Okay, so if you'll remember, my guys were getting fate tokens for like rerolls and stuff. The professor got 1, so definitely that's going back in the pile. Eleanor got 2, so those go back, because it says each explorer may discard up to 2. Frank has 1, and Rebecca has 1, so I will put these back in here. And what this is telling me is that it sometimes is okay to take fate tokens. I've been avoiding them like the plague, but I think now I've learned that maybe I shouldn't avoid them all the time, that they can be given back at the end of a successful thing. So here's the deal. For episode 1, I got, how many magnifiers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I did both rows, so I get $2 more, and I get 3 XP. No, 3 victory points. I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. Well, I don't know what 3 VP is. And then for gears, I got 1, 2, 3. I can take the bottom row, which gives me 1 XP, or I can take the top 2 and get upgrades CO3. So I come back here to the camp, and I will take CO3. Anytime you get a camp upgrade, you definitely want it. So here's the new camp upgrade. For $4, I can choose up to 2 traumas on explorers and discard them. Well, heck yeah, I'll be spending that money. And then it says if you don't have the necessary funds or you want to save your money, you can buy this later. All right. Now, I did complete CO3, which says if you completed the upgrade CO3 road during your exploration, you can access this upgrade. When you return to camp, a strange woman is sitting cross-legged in the Phileas' shadow waiting for you. She introduces herself as a shaman, informed of your exploits by the spirits, and ready to help you in exchange for a little money for food. For $2, each explorer may discard 1 fate token. All right, so good to know. So later on in the game, I can spend 2 gold coins to remove a fate token. Because remember, at the start of each game, sometimes it will give you conditions. It'll say like any explorer that has 1 fate token or 2 or more fate tokens or whatever, and then there'll be some sort of punishment for it. So that's going to be good to have. All right, as always, I will scan my PDFs for this scenario and the journal and the camp upgrades and all that, and I'll make that available as a download so that you can look at it and follow along as I continue to play Arkeis. Up next, I'll be playing scenario number 2, which is called, episode 2, which is called The Forgotten Necropolis. Sounds very ominous. All right, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me as I played another game of Arkeis. I'll be back again in probably a week with the next scenario. Until then, everybody, take care.